Firebase Firestore CRUD operations can often feel tedious to write because of the extensive setup, boilerplate code, and handling asynchronous processes, which can be overwhelming for beginners and even experienced developers. This video will show you exactly how to perform these operations quickly and easily, breaking down each step into simple, manageable actions. It removes the complexity and saves you time so you can focus on building your app without getting bogged down in details. Additionally, by following along, you'll gain the confidence to implement Firestore CRUD functions right way, knowing you're doing it effectively and correctly. And make sure to check out the link in the description where you can get a 90% plus discount on all of my products. So total value is $1,330 and you can get it, all of it, for only $99. All of these nice products, go ahead and check out the link in the description. Now today we are going to continue where we left off in the previous episode. Go ahead and check out the link in the description for the playlist too. And we are going to talk about going with Firestore. Now we are going to use the Firestore collection GitHub repository that I have created. And I've done a few tutorials a few months ago on this one. I got a really good response on it, and I also got some feedback, so where and how I should improve it. And indeed, I did improve it. So we are going to talk about that today. In the previous episodes, we basically signed up and signed in with email and password. Again, the link in the description for the whole playlist. Now today, we are going to do the basic CRUD operations. I mean basic because there's a lot more and it's coming in the tutorial series. So if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. We are going to fetch through predicates and also a lot of stuff we can do with Firebase, not just create, read, update, and delete. There's a lot more coming. So let's just, first of all, we are going to import Firestore collection, create a model that we can handle all of our incoming models really nicely, and then create, read, update, and delete. Now, first things first, let's add our GitHub repository. Let's just copy this link, go back to our Xcode project and click on plus over here and paste it in there. Just wait for it. Current version is 4.5.0. So the version that I'm making this tutorial with. Maybe I'm going to add a little bit more improvements, but I think this is really stable one. Okay, let's add a package. And there we go. We have that covered. Now, next thing is to create a Firestorable model. Now, we have created, where is our path? We have created a profiles collection inside our documents. And let's just go to Firebase so we can see Firebase, come on, Firebase, and then just Firebase console. And here is our Firebase tutorial. And let's take a look at our Firestore database. So basically we have, when we are signing up, we are automatically creating a document with the user UID. So the key of that profile, of that document rather, is the UID that has been created by the authentication, and it is set to also user ID key. Let's just see, WU. Let's go to the authentication part, and indeed there it is, WU, and we have email and password provided. Go ahead and check out the previous sessions in our tutorial series. Now what we are going to do is create a list of posts. We are going to update those posts. We want to fetch those posts, and also we are going to delete those posts. So in the Firestore database, we are going to have a new collection with all of our posts. Okay, so let's just go back to Xcode, and this will be done on the feed view right over here. So first of all, let's create our model. So let's just create a new file first, a new empty file. let's just call this post, and let's just import Swift UI first, of course, and also let's import now Firestore collection. Now, importing Firestore collection is needed because we are going to adhere to the Firestorable protocol. So struct, post, and Firestorable. Now, what does that mean? Let's just jump to definition right over here. Firestorable is basically a type alias for identifiable Firestorable model. Let's just also check that out. So it needs to have a created at timestamp, an updated at timestamp, and the user ID. Okay. And then codable, equatable, and sendable. So we need to adhere to all of these protocols. Let's just go back and then let's just wait for the Xcode to complain, and then let's just add all of these. Well, for the ID, I'm going to use document ID. And with capital D right over there. Again, it's coming from Firestore collection. Well, actually, I think we do need to import for that Firebase Firestore. And then it will not be an object identifier. It will be an optional string, just like that. And then that should go away. Yes, because it says store property underscore ID of sendable conforming struct, we need to add this preconcurrency on the Firebase Firestore import. At some point, the Firebase team will address this. For now, let's just fix that. And now this should go away. Great. So we have the created at timestamp and the user ID. Really nice. SwiftUI devs, this one's for you. For a limited time, you can grab everything I've made for just $99, normally $1,330. That's over 90% off. Why? Because I want to help more devs build faster and smarter without breaking the bank. It's a no-brainer if you're serious about leveling up your SwiftUI skills. Don't wait, the deal won't last. The link is in the description. So next up, we want to add some extra stuff, like other stuff than the created at, updated at, and the user ID that are basically required by this Firestorable protocol. I would say let's just add text, or let's just have the message. So the message of the post, var message of type string. And for this tutorial purpose, that's more than enough. So now let's create our coding keys. So let's just have an enum and coding keys string, coding key, that's fine. And then created that, well, I'm just going to go with these, but I'm just going to remove the equal sign. I'm just going to go with these types of strings, like, you know, if you have a separate server and you have pre-defined keys, then you can just use them right over here. And then we want to create our the code init from decoder. Okay. And then let me just take a look at this. Container, try decoder container, coding keys. Yes, that's looking fine. Let me just have a little bit more room over here. Decode if present, that's fine. I like to have decode if present on all of my properties, not including the ID. That's taken care by the document ID, so that's fine. So therefore, I need to have here an empty string value, default value, and also here an empty string for the message. Okay, and then the encoder, so encode, yes, that's the one. And yeah, again, I'm going to go hit tab over here, and then I'm just going to double check on it. Decode if present, yes. And let's just add decode if present also right over here. And basically that's it. One extra thing that you could add for the timestamps, you know, just using timestamp, that's really Firebase specific. What I like to do is just add a new variable of created date of type date. And it's not optional, so I can use non-optional values on my views too. And then I will just say created at dot date value, otherwise our current date, and then do the same for our updated So var updated date, and yeah, just like that. Okay, so that is our model. Hopefully I added everything here incorrectly. If not, then we're just going to jump back over here. But I feel that this is really, really nice. Okay, so what is next? Let's just go back to our feed view. And yeah, we made a Firestorable model. Now, why did we make all of this Firestorable? Well, because with this model, and you can check it out, and maybe if you leave out some of these things that I made, then you will run into various issues, like if a model has an extra key value pair, or it's missing, or this takes care of everything. So now let's move on. Let's create a read, update, and delete. So let me just have here, well, just have a VStack for now, VStack. And hopefully in the previous episode, I added this into, let's just go to the content view, into a navigation stack. Yes, indeed. Therefore, I can just use a navigation, the navigation bar. So let's just go to the feed view, and let's just have a toolbar. Oh, not removing, toolbar, and the content, toolbar item, with a placement of primary action. And I'm going to have here a button with an action and label. We're going to take a look at the action in just a second. For now, the label will be an image system name of plus. So add new post will be triggered. And that's, let me just copy that out and paste it over here. So function, add new post. And then, if you remember, let me just have here, well, I'm going to add everything for now in this view, and then in the upcoming series, I'm going to create a separate controller for it, just for brevity for this case. And again, if you want to take a look at the whole playlist, the link is in the description, and make sure to subscribe to be notified when the new videos do come out. So adding a new post, it's pretty straightforward. Let's just import Firestore collection, okay. And then we want to store, well, first of all, we need to access the collection, and then we want to store our document, in our case, just one document, somewhere. And let's just start off with the first one. Let's create the collection. So let's access the collection. State private var posts collection. There we go. And that is going to be a Firestore collection equals Firestore collection. And we do need to add a path. And if you were paying attention, you can also check, change the database. We're just going to go with the default database. So that's why I'm going to choose this one. So path, let's just add a new path. So path and then static, let posts, that's great. And then no more typos. So path dot firestore dot posts. Okay, so this is the post collection. It's as simple as that. We want to specify that this is indeed the post collection. So we want to add in here post. And that's it. Now everything should be okay. The error went away. Let me just have a little bit more room over here. So post collection. And then this particular example, we are going to fetch only one post. So we are going to have a state private var post, and then it will just be a simple optional post. Now, again, this is just going for the CRUD operations. We are going to have also a list of posts later in the tutorials. Okay, so post collections. I believe, well, let's just start typing out so I can see if it's asynchronous or throwing or those things. So post collections dot, and there, as you can see, there's quite a lot. We're going to cover all of them in this tutorial series, but for now, we want to create. And we want to create document and, of typos, that's great. And then before that, we are going to say let post equals post. And let's just see, post, open parentheses. Let me just see if the initializers come up. Let me see what's going on with the post. Let's just go over there. Oh, we did not create a custom initializer. Let's just do that also. So right over here in it. And what do we want to do right over here? Well, basically what I do want to add is only the message. So let's just have only the message. And then all the other ones will be just the default one. So let's just see, created at equals, and that will be nil. Firebase collection will take care of it, so it is going to be the server's timestamp, so that's fine. And I believe you don't even have to add it in here, but just to make sure, updated at equals nil, and then user ID. We do want to have our user ID, so let's add that also. So we want to connect our post to a specific user ID in this particular case. So user ID equals user ID, okay, and then message. So, and this should be self, and then self dot message equals message. Okay, now we can go back and then have that initializer typed out again. So post. And there it is, user ID. Well, the user ID comes from our authentication state. So we're just going to say guard let. And again, for this, we need to import Firebase auth. We're going to move all of this into a separate controller, but for now, this is just fine. So Firebase auth, okay. And then we have access to the user. So guard let. User ID equals auth.current user question mark, because that's an optional, and UID. Else we are just going to return. That's fine. So then we have our user ID. And then for the message, let me just have a new message added right over here. And then it would be post, and let's add post message. And then let's add a number, a random number. So int dot random in, that's fine. So let's also have the message over there, and then we just pass along the post. Okay, and I believe, call can throw, so this should be added to try, and therefore all of this inside the do catch statement, do, and then catch. And then for now, I'm just going to print out the errors localized description. Make sure to show the users the error inside an alert. And that should be it. Let's just see. Let me just build and run. And now we are going to create a new post. And as you can see with the post collection, it's really simple. Now, before we, let's just do the create, and then we can just fetch it back later on. Build succeeded. There we go. So now if we click on the plus button, everything should work. Now on the UI, we can't see anything. So let's double check on our database. We do need to refresh our browser. So because a new collection has been created, hopefully, yes, posts. And then we have a new post message, post message 293. And the user ID, remember, it was starting off with WU. There we have it. Really, really nice. Now, that was to create a new post. Now, let's just go and fetch that post. Currently, we are just going to read with the ID of that one. But again, in the next episodes, we are going to fetch a lot more complicated ways, like all of them with predicates, and it will be just fine. For now, just the CRUD operations. Let's read. So let's just add a new toolbar. I'm going to copy this out and paste it. And then let's have that on the secondary. So secondary action. And then let's just have here a new square and arrow down. Oh, here it is. There we go. And then we are going to fetch one post. So fetch one post. Let's have that function over here. In some cases, you do want to fetch one post by its ID. And for that, Currently, I'm just going to grab the ID from the database. So it's this one. So let me just highlight it if I could. There we go. And let's just paste this for now over here. So this is our ID that of the post that we want to fetch. Okay, now we want to use the posts collection again. So posts collection, think of it like, a reference to that particular collection that you have created. And then we are going to fetch, and as you can see, there are quite a few. Today we are going to go with this one only, fetch one with the ID. And indeed, let's just paste it in there. Let's just see, this is an asynchronous function. Okay, let's just add in here a wait. And also, I believe that also a throwing function. Let's just see, call can throw, yes, so try await, both of them, try await. Therefore, I'm going to add a task over here. So that's now asynchronous, and the do catch. So we can catch if there were any errors. So catch, and then let's print out the errors localized description. Okay, and it says result of call is unused because this function is actually returning our post. So let's just do that. Put it into the post. So post equals, and now it's inferring the post type. If we were just to type out let post, then it would not know. We actually do need to specify that this is of type post, but this is just fine. Okay, what I'm going to do is just print out the actual post. Why not? Okay, we could put it also on the, let's just put it on the UI also. So hello, and then post message, otherwise just word, that's fine. So let's just build and run. And now I'm going to tap on the fetch button, fetch one post, and we should just grab that message that we have on our database. Let's just see it. So I just put it right over here, secondary action. This is the secondary action. We actually want to have the cancellation action. Let's build and run. And let's see that, it's just going to put it on the leading part of our navigation part. There we go. And then let's click on it. And there we go. Hello post message. And indeed it's 293. Great. So that's creating, reading one with ID. Again, more coming in the series. Let's update. So for the update, I'm going to go for, just the same button. I'm not going to go with the image change, but update post. Just to be short on time, let's just have a function of update post. And again, this couldn't be simpler. First of all, let's just see if we have a post, and then the updated post will have an updated message. And it's just guessing all of this really nicely. So let's just print out here the errors, localized description. Okay, let's just see if we get any issues. I do know that both collections does have an update, and we are just going to pass along the post. Now the post has an ID associated to it, so it's just going to know which post to update. So that's how it knows. Okay, so we do need a post, therefore I'm going to go for this update post on the primary action. I'm just moving things around, but you do understand. So first we are going to fetch that post, and then we are going to update it. So let's build and run. And first we are going to fetch it. Let's just see, it's building, running. Okay, let's fetch it. There we go. And then when I click on the plus button, it should update it. So clicking on there, let's double check on the database. Of course, we did not refresh it, so there it is. And let's see, there it is, updated message, really nice. And because we already have that on the database, now we can refetch it again. And it will say updated message. Amazing. So that's how easy it is to also update your documents. And finally, we want to delete. And I'm going to add, let's just add it right over here. So delete post, because we do need to fetch it again. And then let's just have a minus. And why not? Delete the post. After the update, let's have a function of delete post. Okay, and then I believe that's also only a throwing function. So let's just have a do and a catch. Print out the errors localized description. And then we just say try posts collection dot delete. And what is the document? Well, AI here is missing out on things, but we just have the post. So we do need to provide the post. So that would be a post. But what is our post? Well, first of all, it shouldn't be optional, as you can see. Therefore, I'm just going to guard let unwrap it. Okay, let's just see. And it's also asynchronous. Okay, try await. And let's just put all of this into a task. There we go. Let's build and run. And first we are going to again fetch our post, and then we are going to delete it. Let's just see. First of all, let's fetch it. Hello, updated message. Okay, and then I'm going to switch back over here so we can see that it's just going to remove it. And then clicking on the minus. There we go. We just removed it. And again, now if I want to fetch it, it's just going to say hello world instead of, the current message. So let's just fetch it. Oh, we don't have any posts. Okay, so it's not just going. It's not going to fetch it either way because we don't have any posts available. Okay, so that's how you do CRUD operations, and with the help of Firebase. A Firestore collection with a Firestorable model, create, read, update, and delete. Now, in the next episode, we are going to take it even further. So make sure to subscribe. And if you do like these types of tutorials, also go ahead and check out my sale. The link is down in the description. 90% off discount, even more.